Take two.
Welcome to the Cave, fans of the Cavemen volleyball team. We are here at the Cave for the Cavemen taking on the John Glenn Falcons, led by head coach Taylor Kaluki. The Cavemen are coming off a tough game last week here, but hopefully we're going to get it back here and have a good game. I'm Matt Rendell. I teach radio and television. I'm here tonight doing your lead commentary. Right next to me is Drew Mason. We've got a bunch of people running cameras. We'll get to them in a little bit, but we're about to get ready to go here as the Cavemen break their huddle, and we are just about ready for some volleyball. Drew, you excited?
Very excited.
Of course, how couldn't you be? We've got a big week ahead. We've got 4 straight days of broadcast. We've got volleyball tonight here at the Cave. We've got first school board meeting since the very first day of school, so a lot of stuff going on there. Tomorrow night we'll be at the Administrative Center by Emmons. On Thursday we've got volleyball against St. Joe here in the Cave, and then Friday our second straight home game in football as the Cavemen come off the 40-0 victory against Gary Westside to take on the John Adams Eagles in the first NIC match of the season. We are echoing here, so I'm going to try to fix that as we're ready to go. I think we're ready. JV won in straight sets here earlier today, right before this match, so we're in pretty good shape as the Cavemen will try to win against the Falcons. Who do we think serving, Drew?
Looking like John Glenn.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to. John Glenn is hitting right now from left to right in the black jerseys. In the maroon are the Cavemen right in front of us. The black maroon's a little bit hard to tell, but on your screen, I think you'll be able to get it.
And that is point for John Glenn. And back to serve, we have number 1, Hannah Dickinson. Serve to Claire Scheid. And there's another point for Glenn.
So Glenn off to a good start here as Drew Mason filling in as we're trying to solve some problems here. Looks like we got it as Glenn is now up 2-0 as the Cavemen try to rebound here. Holland will put it up, and Dustin gets it, and it's off the Glenn defense and out of bounds as the Cavemen get on the board.
There's a little power behind that one.
That's right. Dickinson couldn't quite get it as it came right to her, but she had no chance as that thing goes flying. Last week we had New Prairie here, and they had a lot of big-time power hitters, and that really hurt the Cavemen. Tonight it's looking like John Glenn doesn't have quite the same power, so hopefully the Cavemen can fare a little bit better in this match. As Glenn will go up, this time it's blocked at the net as number 3, Kuskaden tried to get it over. They do, as now it'll be the Cavemen's turn, but a great block as it goes high enough, and they'll have a shot here as the Falcons get it up and over right to the Cavemen defense. It'll be Dustin this time off the block, but kept alive by Eggleston. Holland puts it all the way over. Thornton gets it over long, though, and that'll be out. Point Falcons.
Dustin's putting a little heat on those tonight.
Yeah, she's coming in hard. That one she just couldn't quite get the right angle on. She hit it hard, but it just couldn't quite get there. So Falcons will be back to serve. This is number 9, Cassidy Johnson. And this time it's Hannah Weiss who gets into that one as she knocks that kill down for the Cavemen to make it 3-2.
We've seen plenty of that this season from Weiss.
Absolutely. Yeah, she comes in strong, hits that ball extremely hard as she constantly is leading the team in kills, as that'll be Thornton with the serve. Good hit, but that's actually that looked in from up here. They're going to call it out. It looked close either way, but they're going to call that out we talked, you weren't on air with Isaac and I last time, Drew, but I talked about the jobs I would like to do least, and that's line judging for volleyball or tennis.
Yeah, my dad just did that today for the freshman game, and he was not very happy.
No, it's a hard job, and then all you get is ridiculed for it. Weiss comes in hard again for the Cavemen point. As the Cavemen will go back to serve. Am I getting this right? This is Thornton serving? Yes, it is. Yep. Thornton back to serve. You're going to have to help me out with some of those, Drew. Drew's a student here. He knows the kids a little bit better than I do. But I think we got him under control. Maybe Holland puts up. Eggleston comes in. She comes in really hard with that right hand. It's something that you see her coming in at that angle. You want her to go left hand, but she comes kind of on the near side of her body. As that ball was kept alive by Glenn, they had a chance, but they just watched it drop to the ground as Thornton will go back to serve, now leading by 2. And here they've got to get it. They do. One more hit, and it's over. Holland will set it back to Dustin. Comes in hard again off the block, out of bounds.
I know Mrs. Dustin's out at the lake listening to this right now. That she'd be pretty proud of Cami on that. That was
right.
Power behind that one.
A really nice hit there by Dustin, and she's had, like you said, that's 3 good ones. One of them went just out of bounds, but good hits as now the Cavemen have doubled up the Falcons 6-3. As the Falcons just get it over. A good job there by the Cavemen to keep it alive.
The hustle play.
Yeah, Eggleston gets it over. Falcons will have a chance. A big hit, but an even better block as another hit will be in, and a great diving save there by Thornton as she digs that up as Dustin just gets to it. Falcons will put it up. Another big hit, and there it is. You can see right off the bat the big hitter for the John Glenn Falcons is number 3, Taylor Kuskaden, as she had 3 big-time hits there, 2 of them off blocks, that one not stopped there by the Cavemen. Back to serve is going to be Romer as she bounces and hits it across. That's not going to make it. You saw it kind of coming weird off her hand there. It looked like she might have got the side of it. Cavemen scores. We got some substitutions here for the Cavemen. Autumn Dill will come in. She comes in to serve for the Cavemen quite often. She seems to come in, serve, then goes back out until she's got to serve again. And that one is over as Eggleston keeps it alive. That might have been going out of bounds, but Eggleston right there. Nobody was there as both John Glenn people had that kind of look at each other moment, as that'll lead to a John Glenn timeout. So far, Drew, how are the Cavemen looking?
They're looking good. I'm seeing a lot of blocks in this game, and it's looking good.
Yeah, so the Cavemen are off to a good start, much better than last week. Last week they lost in straight sets to the New Prairie Cougars as they couldn't get anything going. New Prairie got off to big leads. They won big in the first set, and then the Cavemen fought a lot better in the second 2. But tonight the Cavemen are out to a strong start, up 8-4 here in the first set. Some updates on some of the players here. Abby Barson's out again. She's wearing a walking boot, so something either ankle or foot related there. Bailey Reister is dressed and ready to go. I don't think she's been in yet. Have you seen that?
No, she has not been in yet.
So she's been out, I think, the whole season. She hasn't even dressed for any of the matches here at the Cave, but she looks like she's dressed. She may get in here tonight. I know she was trying to get in. I know she had talked to some people about how frustrating the injury process has been, but she's hoping to get in the game as we're coming out of this timeout.
Yeah, I talked to her earlier in the week, actually last week while we were in the trainer, and she said she is returning to play soon.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's good to hear. You hate when injuries that kind of keep you out, and so she's dressed ready to go as we're getting ready. That sun there right on Autumn Dill was kind of interesting as Autumn Dill will serve it for the Cavemen. Good job by the Cavemen keeping that alive. Holland gets it to Weiss, and Weiss hits it but out of bounds. She had to kind of stretch out for that one as she just tipped it over.
Looked like almost a finger roll in a basketball game.
Right. She couldn't quite get it there. As we'll have a substitution in the game to serve for the Falcons. Going to be number 14, Madison Platts. Cavemen still lead by 3 here. One of the nice things about volleyball for me is that there's no clock. Okay, we don't have to worry about time. It's just whenever they get the point as the tip is good.
It's my favorite play in volleyball.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an interesting play because it's one that's not powerful, but it's so smart. You see them going up for that block. They've had a good few blocks, but that one they just tip it over as Weiss gets the point, and now she's serving. The hit is off the block and down, and that's going to be a point for the Falcons. And that's kind of a really frustrating one. You had the block there. They were ready for it. They got their hands on it, but just falls on your side. It wasn't quite strong enough to get it back to the other side. Falcons have another sub. Looks like number 8, Grace Rice, is coming in for John Glenn. Big time hit there, and that'll be a point for the Cavemen. So Cavemen are keeping that 4-point lead, but it's a tight enough lead where the Falcons can come back at any moment. A couple points brings it within a few. So. Hey, Kyle. Come here for a second. Cavemen will have another shot as Thornton gets it into the net, but over, and that's going to be a point. So the rules have changed. I mean, the rules have been the same for a while now, but some of the rules change where you hit it in the net, you're good. As long as it gets to the other side, there's no problem. So that one just barely got over and falls, and a tough break there for the Falcons, but the Cavemen take a 5-point lead. And that's going to be an infraction. I think they're going to call that a lift, a double hit there, yeah. So she didn't quite hit them both her hands on the ball at the same time, and that'll be a point for the Cavemen. Eggleston's got that strong service. That one gets over the net quickly. As two Cavemen go for that, they keep it alive. Thornton gets it up, but too far. Well, now we actually have officials on the lines. Do you see that?
I do. It's usually the JV players, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they started there. Maybe they came over from the freshman game, and then they took over. I'm not sure. The serve is up and over. Eggleston will keep it up, and Holland, as that's hit over by Brothers. Uh-oh. And just a bad second hit there for the Falcons. That'll cost them a point. Cavemen lead by 6, and the Cavemen have been good here tonight, but really a couple points here the Falcons could have back with some bad hits and some kind of watching as Holling serves. And that's going to go in, almost in the hoop there. But they got to play it off the ceiling there as it'll be Dustin. Another big-time hit, but a good save, but Thornton's right there. Falcons keep it alive, but not anymore. So the interesting thing here with the roof is kind of a jagged roof, right? And if it hits off there, you got to play it, and that's a tough thing because it's coming off at a weird angle. That one almost went in the basketball hoop, actually, but did not, so only 1 point for the Cavemen. And that falls as it's off of a Caveman player, and Coach Anderson is not happy about that. Not sure who he was mad at. There's 3 of them in the vicinity, but... That'll be Eggleston, keeps it alive, and this will be Brothers. Comes across, but too long out of bounds.
It's a little too much on that one.
I mean, it's a good speed, but she's not coming down on it. So you're hitting it straight, and you want to make sure you're coming down because, I mean, volleyball, it's a small court. You really aren't working with much space. And that serve is into the net by the Falcons, which will award the Cavemen another point.
That serve did look hot, though.
Yeah, it was coming in.
It was coming in with some heat.
Weasel checking the game for Brothers. Back to serve is going to be Scheid. Scheid has kind of an interesting running start to her serve as they try to punch that over and cannot. So that first hit was not a great one from the Falcons. Got it too close to the net, and they couldn't get anything up high enough. So if you watch the run up here by Scheid, if you can see it, she kind of does kind of a hop step there at the end. Well, I guess not.
It's more of a skip.
Yeah, a little skip. There you go. You got the right words. A good block there by Hannah Weiss, as they're going to say that actually went into the net. Yeah, so they're going to say that hit the net and didn't actually get blocked, as that'll lead to another timeout for the Falcons.
That Hannah Weiss spike after the play is kind of like when you throw down after playing basketball and just the windmill.
Yeah, you want to show off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a good start here for the Cavemen. They lead by 8. As we've got some new people here tonight, Drew Mason here on the mic. I'm Matt Rendell. Isaac Hayes down on the court getting us some clips and stuff. Right next to us on the TriCaster, 2 brand new people to the program this year. Tony Parks, Mackenzie Roots. Right below us is Shayna Mullins running the camera. So we got new blood into the program, Drew. And how exciting is it to be in class where you got a bunch of new people?
It's a lot different because last year we only had 6 people in the whole class, and now I have like, is there 3 periods of the class?
Yeah, so now we got 3 classes. How many in yours? Probably 8 or 9.
I think 8 or 9, yeah.
Yeah, and that's about every class. I've got 11 in one. So you're talking about 30 students compared to 6 at the start, and that's getting you some some different people in there, some different projects. You're working on a competition piece right now, right?
Yes, I am.
Trying to win some money. So second-year students are working on a piece for Beacon Health, while the first-year students are doing everything from newscast to where we got some students making some graphics for the TriCaster. We got some people writing and making stories, going to recording clips. So we got a lot of things going on here. And like I said, 4 straight nights of broadcast from the Mishawaka Network, starting here tonight with the Falcons of John Glenn against the Cavemen in volleyball. Dustin comes across off the net, but still in play. And there's, again, you saw it right there, indecision by the Falcons as nobody goes for the ball, and another just giveaway there. And that's bad out of a timeout especially.
Cami Dustin came into play tonight.
She did, absolutely. Well, the Cavemen definitely have a size advantage and probably a strength advantage at the net, and so the Falcons can't afford to make mistakes like they just did there out of a timeout. Has a good diving save there by Dustin. Thornton off the block, but still in. So good job by Thornton recovering. And Weiss off the block, still in. 2 good blocks in a row by the Falcons, as it'll be Dustin again. A 3rd block. The Cavemen keep it alive. Thornton gets it over. 3 great blocks in a row, and now here comes another block here from the Cavemen. Another block, still alive as we're going back and forth. Dustin gets it over, and now the Cavemen have a chance to regroup. Scheid to Holland, and that's going to be a point, Cavemen. I mean, really a great back and forth. Both teams with a couple really good blocks. The Cavemen have the last laugh, though, as they now have a 10-point lead. Drew, your football player here, out of a timeout to have a bad play like the John Glenn Falcons did there, that's got to be frustrating for a coach, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, trust me. We've all had those, though.
You make a bad play out of a timeout, I'm sure Coach Kinder is not thrilled.
Oh, trust me.
And the Falcons will not be able to get that over. It's going to be out of bounds. Cavemen point, and the Cavemen are really on a roll now. They trailed, I think, 2-0 to start this set, and since then they've never looked back, now leading by 11. Scheid still serving. I look back there thinking somebody else is going to be serving, but we keep getting the points, and so Scheid still gets to serve. And here it comes. It's over. Scheid is there. Holland will put it up, and it'll be Thornton. Gets it off the block. Still in play. Good save there from the Falcons. A good setup, but that's going to be long. They're saying they want it to be tipped at the line, but none of the officials. We got 4 legit officials out here. No tip, and that'll be a point, Caveman. But a really nice hit just out of bounds. I mean, that thing was coming in really hot, but it'll be point, Caveman. Scheid puts it over. And Weiss is right there, but they're going to call that on Weiss. So they're going to say Weiss went over the net a little bit too ambitiously there. She went up a little too quickly. If she would have waited just a second, I think she would have been able to get that.
She gets up there on those spikes.
Well, and she's laughing because she didn't need to do that. She knew she messed that one up, so she knows next time, hey, we'll keep it under control. Holland will get it up for Weiss. Weiss gets it down into the net. So there's 2 hits in a row that Weiss would like to have back. And I'm sure Coach Anderson is not thrilled about that. You see him trying to talk to Hannah there. Just tell her to slow down a little bit. You got it. And a miscommunication as that's in, as Thornton and Scheid just watch that go right in between them. And that's going to be an ace for the Falcons. Not a lot of aces so far. I think that might be the first one. And here she is again. That's in.
I mean, I'm not the biggest guy, but I know I could not jump over that net like she does. Like her head
that's tough.
Is above the net.
Well, and she doesn't get a huge running start. It's not like in basketball when you're trying to go touch, where you go running trying to touch the net or the rim or whatever. She's kind of taking that 2-step jump. I could get over the net, but I'm 6'5" and have a 6'9" arm span. That's the only reason I could. I definitely don't have those hops.
Yeah, I know I don't.
Cavemen keep that alive with the block. And they got to get it over now, and Eggleston does. A big-time save there for the Cavemen.
Okay.
And the Falcons try to do your favorite play, the tip, but Weiss was ready for it. Eggleston comes across, and that's going to be a point Cavemen.
Yeah, the tip won't work against Anna
I'll
Weiss.
tell you what, that number 2, Georgia Ayers, that thing came flying at her. She's lucky she got her hands. That thing's hitting me in the face if it's coming at me that fast. She got her hands in front of it, couldn't keep it alive as the Cavemen inch ever closer to winning the first set. 23-12, favor of the Cavemen. A good back set, but a great block by the Cavemen. As now the Cavemen will have a chance. Scheid to Holland. Holland puts it up. Dustin off the block, still alive. Weiss brings it down. Somehow that got back over. Another good block. And Coach Anderson not happy. I'll tell you what, if the Falcons have struggled a little bit here on and off, but they sure have that block down.
Oh, definitely.
They get up there strong. They keep it together, and they're able to get a lot of blocks. They trail by 10, so it's a little bit rough to make that comeback here. But those blocks could help them going on to further sets, but they couldn't block that one. Anna Weiss with the big-time hit there as we are now at set point here as Autumn Dill come back to serve. Watch the serve here, Drew. Autumn Dill doesn't get a lot of power behind it, but it kind of comes in a little wonky there as the other team sometimes has a hard time getting it, but that one is all good as the Falcons will have a chance here. They hit it over, but Scheid's there ready to go. Weiss, big-time hit there. And that'll end the first set as the Cavemen win the first set 25-13. We will be right back. We have the school fight song playing here as we're in a quick break, a 3-minute timeout here as the Cavemen win the first set as they now lead 1-0. Again, let's go through our schedule real fast. We're going to finish up here tonight. Hopefully the Cavemen come away with a victory in this match against the Falcons. The volleyball team is right back here in the Cave on Thursday. So 2 home games this week for the Cavemen volleyball team, as they will be taking on the St. Joe Indians. So that'll be a fun match here with the Indians coming to the Cave. Tomorrow night, we got the ever-exciting school board meeting. Are you going to be at the school board meeting, Drew?
I don't know about all that. Yeah, I'll probably do that.
School board meeting will be kind of interesting. You got the first one since the first day of school, so you have all the new hires, all those things happening. A couple interesting things. They're going to talk a little bit about iLearn scores that were just released last week. And there's not too much on the schedule. I looked at it yesterday, but definitely those things. So tune in, find out what's going on with School City of Mishawaka. And for us, the school board meetings is a nice way for the school system to say we're being transparent, right? If you can't make it to the school board meetings, because they are public, anybody can go, you can always watch them in their archives, so you can go back if you want to know about something that's going on in the school system. So school board meeting tomorrow night, but then obviously the big game Friday night is the second of 3 straight home games for the Cavemen football team as they will take on the Adams Eagles. The Eagles coming off a 1-point loss to Riley as they will look to rebound as they take on the Cavemen, who come off the big victory against Gary Westside. So 4 straight nights of live content for you from the Mishawaka Network, as well as this week we're going to start doing 2 newscasts with some new news anchors.
Ooh.
Thursday, we've got Declan Quintanilla on the news. Declan and I go back. He was helping me run the swim meets a couple years ago, so he and I know each other, but he's in class. So Declan will be doing that, and Chase Johnston doing our sports for Thursday, so that'll be fun. Friday, we've got some new people as well. Noah Biggs will be on the sports for us Friday. And then Adam Zolman, who's one of our theater students, does all the plays and musicals. He'll be giving you the news. So we got a lot of new people coming up this week, so check those out. And we just got a lot of things going on. Class is kind of hectic sometimes. We're getting ready to go here. Drew, you were telling me about Jordan Holland just recently. What was the news about her?
Over the weekend, I believe Jordan Holland committed to play volleyball at Manchester.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So Manchester will get Jordan Holland. Jordan's kind of an interesting piece of this team. She's not coming in getting you the big hits, but she's always taking that second hit. She's setting up everybody. You'll see her throughout the match here today. She's always in the action. She's never standing around watching, but she's always getting you that second hit, getting it up for one of those big-time hitters, the Dustins, the Weiss, the Thornton, all those people, Eggleston, who come in and get the big hits. So we will get ready to start the second set. We're back at 0. One interesting thing about tennis and volleyball, you could lose by 25 points for all it matters, as almost an ace there by Holland, but the Falcons will get it up. But you start back at 0, and you have a chance to win the next set as Brothers gets that one over and down, point Caveman.
Oh, Brothers was up there, too, on that spike.
Yeah, absolutely.
She got a little air on
We're
there.
We're getting there, and the Cavemen are looking to have a good year. They've had a couple tough matches, tough tournaments, but they've looked good here at home as that serve goes into the net from Holland. Like I said, other than the last match against New Prairie, they've really been very good here in the Cave, as that will be a serve over to the Falcons. That's out, and right back to the Cavemen, 2-1. Cavemen lead. Cavemen come in really with not too many seniors. As I'm looking here, it looks like they've got Mackenzie Thornton as a senior captain, Bailey Reister, who we haven't seen much of at all this year. She is dressed but hasn't played yet, and then Jordan Holland. Other than that, all juniors or sophomores. So a young team as they try to get better throughout the year, as Scheid calls that one. And there's Holland, like I said, setting up Thornton in play. The 2 hits from the Falcons, as this will be Dustin, off the net and down. Dustin with another good hit. That one goes off the net, but drops for a point for the Cavemen. And we're going back here to the Cavemen serve, as that's up and over and down, as Holland just watched that one go over her head, and Scheid couldn't quite get to it. But Coach Anderson is pointing to Holland, saying, you got to get that. That's right at you. You got to hit it, as that'll be a point for the Falcons. Cavemen lead by 1. They're going to call out as the Cavemen shouted out, and it does go out. So the Falcons have gotten 2 serves here in this second set. Both of them have not made it over in play. So serving been a problem here for the Falcons, as this will be Thornton with the serve, and that one was bad off the start. That serve came off of her hand very poorly as it goes right into the net, and the serving is a little bit lackluster here in the second set from both teams. See if that gets better here as libero number 2, Georgia Ayers, gets it across. And this will be Holland on the 3rd hit. Great diving save there by Scheid as Dustin tried to hit it over, but just wasn't very decisive. She was a little bit passive there, hit it, but not quite hard enough to get it over. Ayers back to serve again. This will be Eggleston, who tips it over, and somehow that stays down, as it wasn't a strong tip, but the block wasn't quite strong enough, and the Cavemen score.
That plays 100%. It works every time.
100%. I don't know about that.
I checked the analytics.
Did you?
Yep.
You got your numbers
the Drew
running
Mason
over?
analytics say 100%.
Autumn Dill comes in to serve. That one almost falls for an ace, and it might still, but the Falcons just get it over. Good hit by Weiss, but the Falcons are there. 3 Cavemen players, none of them take it, as that'll be a point for the Falcons, and you really don't want to see that if you're Coach Steve Anderson.
Little miscommunication on that one.
Definitely. Eggleston will have to run to that, and she was not there. So not a great setup there by Holland. Eggleston didn't quite get there, as now the Cavemen trail. And this is what I was talking about after that first set, Drew, is that you can come in the second set, you play well enough, you can get back in the game.
That's exactly what the Falcons are doing here in this one.
The Cavemen got lucky. That one didn't fall. Oh, my gosh. That one hung up on the net there for a second. As Eggleston gets to it, another good block, and the Falcons have really been very good at the net blocking. As the Cavemen block that one, Autumn Dill gets down to save it. Eggleston does get to that. And there's Dill again, saving that. Kind of over the shoulder hit there by the Cavemen, but right now, Falcons lead by 2 as Coach Anderson is not happy, telling them, like, you guys got to hit it. Steve Anderson does not hold back on the sideline, I'll tell you that. Weiss comes in and takes out all of her frustration on that ball.
That's a momentum changer right there.
Yeah, you're down 2, and she comes in, and they set it up perfectly for her. She came in really strong, came down on that, and that's a point for the Cavemen. And that's out of bounds as Weiss has another serve go out. I don't know if she's had any serve stay inbounds. It's been a tough serving day for Weiss, as we'll have a substitution as Weiss goes out. Scheid is back in.
Back to serve for the Cavemen, we have number 2. Number 2, Emily Eggleston back to serve for the Cavemen. That'll be point Cavemen as the ball goes out. A nice block by Holland and Brothers. And that'll be point Cavemen as Brothers gets it over. And as we were talking about before, number 9, Bailey Reister, will be playing for the Cavemen. I believe this is her first game she's played in this season due to injury. Speaking of Reister, there she is with the big spike. And there it is again. Looks like that's going to be point Cavemen. Looks like we're getting a new ball. Eggleston still serving for the Cavemen. Serve is over and out. A little too much on that serve. Nice block by Bailey Reister. Eggleston over to Holland. Tema Brothers into the net for a point for the Falcons. Back serve for the Falcons. We have Ariel Tivers. Emma Brothers. That was Emily Eggleston hanging over for the Cavemen. For the Cavemen point. We have a substitution. Number 13, Cammie Dustin, will be coming in for number 4, Autumn Dill. And back serving, we have number 23, Jordan Holland. As the serve is over and good. That would be a point for the Falcons as the ball stays inbounds. Serving the Falcons, we have number 1, Hannah Dickinson. The serve is up and over. Holland over to Cammie Dustin for the big spike as the Cavemen get the point. Cammie Dustin brushes off her shoulder as she gets that one in. You can't help but smile. And serving for the Cavemen, we have number 3, Claire Schad. Serve is up and over, and that'll be an ace for the Cavemen. Shot again. It's good. That'll be point John Glenn as that hit over had a little power behind it. We have some substitutions coming in. It looks like we have number 9, Cassidy Johnson, coming in. And number 3, Taylor Kuskade. John's serve is up and over.
That's in. I'm back, Drew.
Miss Rendell's back.
Back in action. We had a camera falling over issue, but we got it fixed, so we should be back and ready to go. Nobody was hurt in the making of this volleyball match. There, that one's out. So the first one they let go, it stayed in. That one goes out.
That one hit my mom.
No, man. Oh, your mom's down there. I see her now. Drew Mason. His mom teaches over at John Young.
Yep.
Nice. Thornton's back to serve. While I was gone, it stayed close. We're tied at 14. As that serves into the net and not quite over as Thornton doesn't get it.
And while you're gone, Bailey Reister entered the game for the Cavemen.
There we go.
So our
we talked about it a
questions
few
were
times.
answered.
There we go. We talked about it, but she's back, it was fun. I know how frustrating those injuries can be. And there's an ace for the Falcons as they now lead by 2, and this is what you want to avoid if you're the Cavemen, dropping the second set after really dominating that first set. As the serve is up and over. This time Thornton gets it over. Nope. And Holland can't. Another ace. As it'll be the Falcons back to serve again. And that'll lead to a timeout from Coach Steve Anderson. So not how you want to be playing here in the second set after winning the first set by a pretty large margin. So, Drew, I was away for a little bit. How was it looking there for the Cavemen in the second set?
A lot of blocks again by John Glenn, and the Cavemen were kind of struggling with the serve there for a second, but they're going to get together. We'll be fine.
Yeah, so trail by 3, and really the bigger problem isn't the trailing by 3, but you're getting closer and closer to that 25 mark as now John Glenn needs just 8 points to get there. So being down isn't the problem. It's being down this late kind of in the match. You got to make up those points and do it quickly. Otherwise, even if you go back and forth, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, both teams, you'll end up losing that down by 3. So they've got to make a short little run here to try to tie it up out of the timeout. We talked a little bit ago about John Glenn came out of a timeout in the first set and immediately made a really bad mistake. And so the timeout here by the Cavemen, hopefully you come out of that timeout and you're ready to go, as it'll be John Glenn's serve. as back to serve for the Falcons is number 2, Georgia Ayers. Holland will put it across for Weiss, and Weiss hits it well. As that goes up, it's going to be out of bounds.
That's how you come out of timeout right there.
Again, like I said, you got to come out strong. Coach has got to be happy with that. Weiss with a big hit. It was a hit up in the air by the Falcons, but too far out of bounds, as it'll be Autumn Dillon for Cammie Dustin, as Dill will come in to serve.
Now we have a substitution for the Falcons. We have number 5, Julian Wilk, coming in for the Falcons.
Nice. Good catch. I wasn't even paying attention. Dill with a good serve, as the Falcons will try to get it over. They do. Thornton's there. This one up to Weiss again. Big hit, but still in play, as it'll be the Falcons. Got to get it over. They do. Weiss up to Holland. Back to Weiss. A big hit, but a great block there by the Falcons. And so part of the problem there is Weiss is obviously the Cavemen's best player there at the net, and you went to her a couple times in a row. You got the last point. You went to her once. You go to her again. The Falcons are ready for that, and they got another good block. Falcons lead by 3. It's up and over. Dill with not a great hit, but it's still in play as Eggleston runs across, off the net, in. And that's a tough one because the Falcons were in good defensive position, and Eggleston kind of came across that. She wasn't thrilled with the way she hit that, but sometimes it's the results that you want as opposed to how you get there, right? So Weiss will be back to serve, and this one is going to stay in, as she's had a little bit of a tough time on the serve tonight. Dill will put it up for Eggleston again. Big hit, out of bounds. As some of the Cavemen thought that was tipped, but the officials say no, as it'll be again back to a 3-point lead for the Falcons. And this is what we're talking about. You got to make a run. You got to string together 2 or 3 straight points. Otherwise, the Falcons will end up winning, as they're only 6 points from winning set number 2. It'll be Brothers into the block. Shy gets it across as Dill keeps it alive. Great play there by the Cavemen as Thornton gets it. Somehow that makes it over, and that's a tough break there for the Cavemen. As that one just luckily made it over the net, as the Falcons weren't trying to do that. Holland puts it up for Eggleston. She gets it down out. Cavemen now falling apart, as now the Cavemen trail by 5. Thornton with not a great first hit. Shy gets it up for Brothers. She gets it across. Cavemen really need all the points they can get now, because that's in. I don't know if there's much that Autumn Dill could do there. That one is kind of coming in very strong and quickly. You kind of let that go, hope it's out of bounds, but it wasn't. Now the Cavemen trail by 6, and all the Falcons need is 3 points. Unbelievable. That thing almost went over.
I thought it was going over.
Oh, man. 3 unbelievable saves there as Bailey Reister comes in again, as Thornton will come out. And right now the Cavemen having a rough go, but they get the point as they trail by just... What did they trail by, 5? I was a math teacher once. I got it. Cavemen are going to have to make a run. Eggleston will keep that alive. It's out of bounds. So a good hit by Reister, but that's out, as now the Cavemen trail by 6 and only 2 points needed. And John Glenn will take set number 2. That's going to be a point for the Cavemen.
So here's where you got to make the run.
This is it. You know, you're at a point where you really got to string together a number of points. As it'll be Holland back to serve. You trail by 5 in what is really a decisive few points here, as that was almost an ace. Somebody's got to hit it over, and they do, but now the Cavemen have a chance. Holland will put it up for Brothers. She tips it across. Good job by the Falcons. That looked like it might be going out, but they kept it in as Reister comes in. Still alive. Out, and they're going to say tipped at the line. Falcons point. And that's a tough one, as now it is set point here for the Falcons. The Cavemen didn't like that call, as we're 1 point away from being tied 1 set apiece. So far here at the Cave, we haven't had many close matches. This one's looking to be that way, as they'll be dusting, but a good save there by the Falcons. And that's it. So in set number 2, the Cavemen struggled towards the end as they couldn't make up ground, and the Falcons pulled away with the 7-point victory, as we are now tied at 1 set apiece. We are just about back here as we are getting ready for the third set, and it's going to be kind of a big one for both teams, as if you can win the third set, you get that 2-1 lead and kind of that big momentum, as we are here on a Tuesday night. Tuesdays are tough days at school, Drew.
Yeah, it is.
People always talk about people always talk about Mondays, and Mondays are hard because you're coming out of the weekend, but you're kind of expecting it. But Tuesday, you go into Tuesday, you finish with Tuesday, and you still got most of the week left. So a little bit of a tough day, but we come into Wednesday. You guys get a late start Wednesday.
Wednesday and Friday are my days.
There you go. Especially football Fridays for you. You ready?
Oh, yeah. Big game Friday.
Come out to Steel Stadium. Not only is it going to be a nice game, we got some really cool pregame stuff coming that I can't quite share with you yet. So come out, check it out. It'll be Military Appreciation Night, so any current or former military members can get in for free with their families too. So that's kind of a nice, fun night. Friday night football is always fun here around Mishawaka. I remember going as a kid and then working as a high school student here, and then coming back. It's always fun. It's stressful for us because we got a lot to do, but it's always fun. Never not fun, as Holland somehow gets that over, but they're going to say she lifted that up. I'm starting to get good at my volleyball rules. And so the Cavemen start the third set as they ended the second, giving up a point, as now the Cavemen are down 1-0, and they've really got to make a run here, and they've got to do it quickly.
This is how the first game started, though.
That's true. They did go down 2-0 in the first set and came back and won big. As there's a bad hit by Eggleston, and it'll be a point to the Falcons. And the serve is good. Scheid keeps it up. Holland puts it up for Dustin. Dustin, big hit, out of bounds. And that's too bad because that was a really nice hit. It was just a little too far. So it's been a good play, but now the Cavemen are already in a 3-0 hole. And there's a point for the Cavemen as the Cavemen get one back there. As now the Cavemen trail 3-1 as Courtney Brothers almost fell down getting off the court as Hannah Weasel sub in. Back to serve is Claire Scheid. Drew's right now working on getting some updates for us. The boys soccer team played Bremen tonight. As we saw a couple soccer players walk in, so we'll see if we can get a score on that as there's another point for the Cavemen. So the Cavemen go down 3-0. They get 2 points back as now they only trail by 1 here in the third set. And again, this is a big set for the Cavemen and really for the Falcons as whichever team wins this set will kind of have a big advantage heading forward. And there's another point for the Cavemen. So 3 straight for the Cavemen. Ties it up in the third set. So 3s all around. As it'll be Claire Scheid back to serve. Good job by Holland to keep it alive as they can't get it across. So we have a substitution as the Cavemen trail by 1. That is up and over as it'll be Holland. Up to Weiss. Big hit off the block and down. Hannah Weiss with another kill as it'll be Thornton back to serve.
And as you were saying, got an update on the soccer score. The team took a loss. It was 7-1 the final.
7-1 to Bremen. So the girls yesterday beat Bremen 8-2. The boys couldn't come away with the victory as that'll be a big time hit there. As I said, Taylor Kuskaden, really a big time player for the Falcons as the Falcons again take that 1 point lead. So the Cavemen came back strong there as you were checking on that information, Drew. They brought it back and are now only down 1 here early in the third set. Off the block, still alive. Good hit by Dustin, but the Falcons keep it alive. Weasel put it up for Eggleston. Good hit, but a great diving stop there by Georgia as that is still up. Holland up for Weiss. Nope, Eggleston's got to hit it across, does. And I'll tell you what, number 2, Georgia Ayers has been big, and there's a big hit by Kuskaden again. John Glenn really has been playing great defense here in the last set and a half here. They've been able to get those balls that have been coming in hard as you see the Cavemen fans trying to get into it. Weiss off the block, tipped. Now they've got to get it over. They do. But now the Falcons have a big-time chance. A good running kill there, but it's still alive. Eggleston and again Ayers there. Out of bounds. And so the Cavemen score the point as Dustin will go out. Autumn Dill in to serve. Cavemen still only trail by 1. It's really looked a lot worse than that for the Cavemen in this set, but they trail by 1. Plenty of time here. I think these are new jerseys for the Cavemen.
They are.
Okay. They look very nice with the gray and white on the letters. Eggleston off the block, still alive. Great, another great block by the Cavemen as Autumn Dill gets to that. It'll be Scheid who gets it over into open space, but again, Georgia Ayers is there. And nothing. There's your shot, Drew. You don't want to see it against the Cavemen, but it's a great shot. I actually noticed on the jerseys, because I saw the JV players up in the stands over there, and I thought those were the varsity jerseys, and I think they were. and I think they just kind of traded them out. So Cavemen drop a point there on that little drop shot in by the Falcons.
I'll check the analytics on it, man. I'm telling you.
It'll be Madison Platts with the good serve. Cavemen have to hit it across. They do. And that's going to be 4 hits. So some miscommunication there by the Falcons. And if you're the Cavemen, that's a relief. The Falcons have been really on point here for about the last 10 or 20 points. And they've been really on it. So we'll see what Hannah Weiss can do with this serve.
So, Ms. Reynolds, with these new jerseys, you remember when they tried to do the sleeve jerseys for the NBA back a couple years ago on Christmas, and a lot of the players didn't like it. Do you think that changed? Well, it's not a change.
It looks like,
they have
the old ones had sleeves too,
But do you think it's, I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and you see John Glenn doesn't have the sleeves. They have kind of the short sleeves, whereas the Cavemen have the long sleeve. Yeah, I don't know. You know, right now, I mean, it's obvious the Falcons have been playing better for the last set and a half, but we'll see if they can come back. They're down 2, but really it's been 2 players for John Glenn that have really hurt the Cavemen. It's been Kuskaden at the net, and right there you see Georgia Ayers again saving those balls, digging them up. So the Cavemen have got to try to get it away from them, and there she is again, as she's always there. A big hit, but good job by the Cavemen keep it alive. We're back and forth here. Eggleston with the tip, and there it is.
I told you.
Drew Mason acting like Nostradamus over here. Those tips are big because they're expecting you to come in strong. And if you can tip it over, and Eggleston's done that a few times as the Cavemen bring it within 1. That's good back and forth by both teams. But like I was saying, it's been Georgia Ayers saving everything for the Falcons. I mean, she's everywhere, digging everything up as Eggleston will try to get the Cavemen a point here with the serve. Long, nobody went up for the block, so that's an easy point for the Cavemen. As right now, number 3, Taylor Kuskaden for the Falcons is out, as you see Mishawaka soon just walking nonchalantly behind the serve there. And Eggleston into the net. And you almost knew it right off the hit. Like, you can almost tell whether that's going over or not based on how that's hit over. So Cavemen trail by 1 now after the bad serve. And serves have really hurt the Cavemen. They got to try to make a run here with both Kuskaden and Ayers out for the Falcons. And that was it. And that's down off the block. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I don't think that last hit the Cavemen had actually hit the block. I think it hit the net, and that's what the Falcons fans were mad about. Interesting that the coach wasn't very mad about it, though. Usually the coach will get into it with the officials a little bit. But
I'm all right with the call.
Holland with the good serve as it's up at the net. A good block, and it is still alive, though, as Holland has to save it. Nobody goes for it. Scheid gets to it, and that's a tough one, as a good job by Holland of getting that first hit. Both Dustin and Brothers just kind of backed away from it, and Scheid came running in. I mean, she was sprinting but couldn't quite get to it, as that's another point for the Falcons. It'll be Thornton off the block and down. And that's a hard one because when it comes off the block at an angle like that, it's hard to get to. As we are now at about the halfway point, not quite, but just about, as the Cavemen trail by 2. Brothers gets a good hit on that, but it is blocked. I'm telling you, somebody needs to go learn how to block from the Falcons coaching staff. The blocking today has been incredible from John Glenn, and it leads to a place like this, as neither Camby Dustin or Jordan Holland could get to that. And now the Cavemen trail again by 3. Brothers gets it over, but not hard enough. Scheid gets to it. Holland puts it up for Thornton. Thornton, not a good hit. And the Cavemen have really been hurting themselves, Drew. It's been a tough go here for the Cavemen as they've been messing up serves. They've been hitting into the net. Drew, what do you think we need the Cavemen need to do here? Try to come back.
Score.
Sure. Yes, they do need to score. I agree. They're going to have to probably make a few less mistakes.
Right
that
there.
was a
Boom.
good hit
I
by,
told you. Score.
it looked like that was Cammie Dustin.
Cammie's having herself a game today.
Yeah, she's had, Coach Anderson's been into her the last few as she was a part of that miscommunication a few times where the ball's just kind of landing in between. But it is going to be a point for the Cavemen as they trail by 3 as Claire Scheid will go back to serve. And right there at the net is Hannah Weiss, but they're going to say she hit the net. And one of the coaches on the sideline for the Cavemen is telling Hannah Weiss, you don't have to come in so hard. You just got to tap it down and it'll work. As that is really an unforced error by the Cavemen. That's a point they should have had. As it'll be a serve for the Falcons as it's number 9, Cassidy Johnson. And that's not going to work. Cavemen down 5. As right now, Cavemen looking a little rough out there. They were looking great in the first set. But now trail by 5, 15-10. Eggleston will put it up. Holland will put it back to Reister. Reister with a big hit, and it's still in. And here's Cuscaden right in the middle.
They're finding every hole right now.
They are, yeah. It's just falling everywhere as it's going to lead to a timeout by Coach Steve Anderson. And I'll tell you what, Drew, I do not want to be in that huddle. He's got to be not thrilled with how it's going so far. So tough go here for the Cavemen, down 6 in the third set. Cavemen trail as they've lost the second set and are in danger right now of letting this one get away. This has been our longest match that we've had here. All the matches we've had here at the Cave have been 3 sets and out, but this one's going to take a little bit longer as both teams won a set. So soccer team was in action. A weird week for the cross-country teams. They didn't race at all last week, so they kind of had a week off. They head to Northridge this weekend as they boys and girls cross-country teams will be racing at the Northridge Invite. That'll start at 9 o'clock, and then the next race is 9:30. I don't know who races first, but girls and boys both race. 9:30 will be the start times of that. I think that's out at Oxbow, but it's hosted by Northridge. So that'll be a fun race. Oxbow's a really nice park. I think you have to pay to get in over there.
Yeah, I play disc golf there.
Do you? Oh, disc golf. Do you? My brother disc golfs.
Yeah, me and my dad disc golf.
Nice. How are you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
I'm decent. My dad is very good.
Is he?
But
That is awesome. Yeah, my brother's not great, but his friend Nick, he's really good. I told him when I'm free and it's under 60 degrees, I'll go. So not today as it is very hot.
Under 60 degrees?
Yeah, I'm not going out there when it's over 60.
Sweater weather.
That's right. And the Cavemen again missed that out of the timeout as they are down 7. So not looking good here in the third set. And that's off the net, but in. A great save there from Eggleston. A big hit there, but it's still alive as now the Cavemen have a chance. It'll be Dustin off the block and still in the blocks again. Big time for the Falcons. That sure looked like it could have been going out, but Hannah Weiss will get it over, and it's looking good for the Cavemen. They could have went and got that. I don't know why they let up, but that'll work for the Cavemen as now the Cavemen bring it within 6, but they're going to have to make a big run.
Between Hannah Weiss and Cammie, they've had a lot to block today.
Yeah. Well, the Cavemen have had really good hits. They've been good at the net, but the blocks have been really big for the Falcons. Thornton will be back to serve. She gets it over, and right there is Ayers. All the way across Cuscaden. Big hit, but great block by the Cavemen. Cammie Dustin's kind of surprised she could get that.
Cammie is a bucket.
So right now she's in good shape as she gets that block. Hannah Weiss was there too. And now it's a 5-point lead for the Falcons. Thornton back to serve again. Ayers is there, and I wouldn't be surprised. Nope, they go back this time, and that's down. Thornton and Holland couldn't get to that as Coach Anderson's talking to Thornton, maybe telling her how she needed to move over there. The movement in volleyball is so fast, it's hard to follow as this will be Ayers with the kind of lob serve there, as it'll come across to Weiss as she taps it over and down.
No comment. I told you.
There it is again, as the Cavemen get the point on the tip, as the Cavemen are back to trailing by 5. But again, you're getting to that point where you can't give up points. Autumn Dill with the good serve. And the block is there, but the Cavemen can't get to it. And the block was right there, and they tipped it, but they couldn't get to it, as we'll have a substitution from John Glenn in the game. Madison Platts back to serve for the Falcons. And it's up. It's going to be high and lob, but Holland will get it. Weiss, big hit. Cavemen really needed that, as it's been a little bit of a struggle here in the third set, but they trail by 5 again, but they've got to make a number of points here. They can't just be going one out. Good serve by Weiss. Kuskaden off the block. Still in play. Good hit by Eggleston. Falcons have a chance. They tip it over. Eggleston's there. Holland hits it over, and it's unbelievable. And right there, you had Georgia Ayers going on the ground to keep that alive, and somehow it came across, and that was kind of a perfect kind of symbol of how this has gone. The Cavemen hit it into space where nobody is for the Falcons. They dive and get it. They hit it into space, and we can't get to it. And it'll be Brothers, still alive. And they're going to call that a double hit, a lift there, as it'll be a point to the Cavemen. 20-15 is our score in the game for the Falcons. Number 8, Grace Rice, as Kuskaden goes out. And that's in.
That's what we like to see.
So
nice
an ace.
ace.
Yeah, an ace for the Cavemen for Eggleston, as she'll go back to serve again, as now the Cavemen have brought it to 4. Only can get a few more of those. And there it is again, but the Falcons are there this time. Good hit, but right to Autumn Dill. Here, Cavemen have a chance, a tip, and there it is. Down. So a good tip by the Cavemen, and Eggleston's making a run here for the Cavemen. Cavemen only down 3. It's up and over. Falcons are there. Off the block.
There we go.
Oh, and they play it even though it looked like it might have been going out. And that's definitely out. Point Cavemen. And that's going to lead to a timeout here by the Falcons. But all of a sudden, Drew, we said it. They needed to get a string of points in a row here. They did. Cavemen now trail just by 2. But that's 4 straight points to get it within 2. So Cavemen trail by 2, as we will be right back.
So, Ms. Rendell,
Yep.
while we were on our break, I was looking at the live stream, and I saw there was a comment
Oh, was there?
by Mr. John Traxler, okay? Talking about the Cleveland Browns, okay?
Oh.
And let me tell you, yeah, I'm probably the only Browns fan in the area, yes. I was riding the train. I was thinking we were going to be great this season, but, maybe next season, okay? But the thing is, I believe the person who commented this is a Dolphins fan, so you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's tough because
they played a running back that was playing quarterback and lost by almost 70 points.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game for them.
I guess this whole tank for Tua thing's going
it's
well.
Working, yeah. Cavemen dropped 2 straight points there. Cavemen come out of that timeout and drop 2 points almost immediately, as they'll need to get those back. As Thornton gets it in a kind of a swing and a miss there by the Falcons, as the Cavemen now trail by 3. But we are getting towards the end, so they're going to have to make another run here, this time with Holland serving. Eggleston made a run for the Cavemen until that timeout. As this time Holland, a really nice serve, and there's an ace. And it'll be Holland back to serve again, down 2, and we're getting to kind of crunch time here. Again, no clock in volleyball, but you get to that 25-point threshold as Holland gets it over. Falcons get it back. Holland puts it up. Scheid over to Thornton. Thornton gets it in the block, out of bounds. Point Cavemen, as you see Hannah Weiss jumping up and down off the bench. She was
very excited for that.
Yeah, nobody else was.
I was.
Oh, I meant nobody on the bench was. And that goes to another timeout as the Cavemen cut it now 2-1. Out of the last timeout, Cavemen immediately gave up 2 quick points to the Falcons. So out of this timeout, Cavemen trail by just 1. We'll see what they can do here. Timeouts are 1 minute. I think you get 2 per set. I could be wrong. Volleyball, I don't know all the rules, but we're getting there. Oh, it's been a long day. School, and then you're back here. Well, you came right from football practice, right?
Yep.
So you had a really long day. I got to go home, eat dinner. At 10 seconds left in this timeout. One thing I noticed at the New Prairie game and then noticed again here tonight, Cavemen use all that time in that timeout, and the other teams that we have played, they kind of get out there, they're ready to go. So Cavemen are coming out of this timeout trailing by 1. Trailing by 1. Only a few points left as it is 22-21. And it's up. Falcons get it into the block. Holland is there. It's all the way across. Thornton's got to get it over. She does. Falcons are there, though. Into the block. Unbelievable. Ayers is just unbelievable. The libero for the Falcons has been all over the place as the Cavemen keep it alive. They've got a chance here. Holland's got to get it over. She does. Block back, but still alive. Thornton still up and good. Falcons have a chance here. And it's down. A point for the Falcons. Probably the best hit of the night for starter Julian Wilk, as she just came in strong and was able to get the point, making it 23-21. In the game for the Falcons is number 7, Cecilia Dolinsky, and back to serve is number 1, Dickinson. Holland puts it up. This one is to Eggleston. She gets it over. It'll be the Falcons' turn. Dustin puts it up. Thornton gets it over, but now Falcons with another chance. Good hit, great block, Caveman point. And the Falcons coach there is pretty happy with that hit. It was a good hit, just right into a really strong block. So now, Hannah Weiss in the game. Back to service, Claire Scheid.
It's a power move right there.
Scheid will put it up. Point for the Falcons. And now you're down to set point here, down by 2. As in to serve is number 9, Cassidy Johnson. Johnson back to serve for the Falcons. Cavemen have got to make a run here, as there's going to be a timeout. Cavemen we're getting back into it, down one a couple times, and then just at the last second here, couldn't quite keep it going. Now are in danger of dropping set number 3 and falling down 2-1 in this match. So the Falcons are really excited over there, hoping to get this victory. Hmm. 20 seconds left in this timeout. Glenn's last match was actually against the Cavemen's next opponent, South Bend St. Joe. They dropped that 3-0, so the Cavemen are going to have to play much better on Thursday if they expect to hang with St. Joe. So
rumor has it St. Joe is pretty nice,
they look pretty good. So right now the Cavemen need these points as Cuscaden comes in strong off the block. Cavemen are still alive. It's Weiss, and it's down and in.
Boom. Statement move, bringing in Hannah Weiss right there.
So Hannah Weiss came in, hit that one in between a couple Glen defenders, as now the Cavemen really need this point here. Thornton back to serve. She gets it over. The back set into the block and down. As John Glenn wins set number 3 and takes the big time lead 2-1, as the Cavemen will have to win the next 2 sets in order to win. We'll be right back. As you hear the school fight song here in the background, the Cavemen are really going to have to fight to get these points back, as they are now down 2-1. One thing we're going to try to do at the football game Friday, Drew, is during pregame when they play the school fight song, we're going to try to get the words on the video board. So we're going to try to get something on there. We'll see how that goes. We're working on it now, but we got some new things coming. We got new students. We've got I think we got our cameras working well, so we're in good shape there. So tune in this week. Friday, obviously, is the big football game, but we've got volleyball again on Thursday. We've got a school board meeting tomorrow night with new superintendent Wayne Barker and then the whole school board. And then school board meetings will be happening every other week from now on until the end of the school year, other than December. December only has one school board meeting.
Yeah, for Friday night, though, if you need me to like sing it on the Jumbotron or anything, I got you.
Teach people the words, maybe. Yeah, it's we're gonna try it out. We'll see how it goes. But
I'm telling you, I've got a voice. They told me it's a mixture of like Kanye and Jesus.
That's a weird combination.
It's a nice combination.
Is it?
Oh yeah, John Legend almost right there.
Cavemen will start this 4th set, something we haven't seen here at the Cave this year, trailing 2-1. So we're just about ready to go here. Cavemen will start with the ball here. They will serve, as it'll be Claire Scheid back to serve. Cavemen got better as the 3rd set went on, but couldn't quite make the comeback. So if they can keep some of that momentum, even though they lost. Bad hit, but somehow that went over. And that's a tough break, and Coach Anderson doesn't look too mad about that one. That one's a really bad hit. Somehow went off the net and in. So
yeah, what can you do on that one?
Falcons score first. Yeah, once that hit the net, it starts kind of going sideways on you. It's up to Weiss. She hits it into the net. And the Falcons have to hit it over. They do. And a good hit there by Weiss, as they're going to say she lifted that up. So at first she tried to argue that, but the coach knew. It's a really good block, though, by the Falcons. She just lifted it a little bit too much instead of hitting it. So Cavemen get on the board here in the fourth set, and hopefully they can keep it close. The problem last time is they got away from them 3 or 4 points, and then it's blocked, but actually it goes into the net, so it'll be a point Cavemen, as they're going to call 4 hits on the Falcons. So the Cavemen tie it. The Cavemen haven't led in a very long time. They didn't lead, I don't think, at all in that third set.
I do not believe so. They went down 2-0 early.
Tied right now as that's in. And now we're back. Where's the ball? There it is. The Falcons get the point and will serve, up by 1. Johnson back to serve for the Falcons. It's up, it's over. It'll be Holland up to Weiss. She gets it over, but out of bounds. So not a great hit for Hannah Weiss there. There's another point for the Falcons. Johnson back to serve again. It's up and over. Weiss gets the hit on that. It'll be Holland all the way back to Weiss. Weiss in. Oh, a diving save there by Johnson goes for naught as that goes out of bounds, as it'll be a point for the Cavemen. It'll be Dustin going out in favor of Autumn Dill, as Dill will come in to serve. Autumn Dill comes in, I think, mostly to serve. I think that's pretty much her role, which is a nice role to have as long as you can get it over, and she does.
It's almost like a knuckleball in that serve.
Yeah, it's not going fast. So that's a bad hit there by the Falcons, out of bounds.
You think the knuckleball serve is as hard to return as the knuckleball to hit?
I think so. I mean, they both have the same idea, right?
Yeah.
It's going slower. It's kind of going all over the place, and you kind of have a little bit of anxiety trying to hit it over, you know?
Yep.
Cavemen keep it alive as it'll be the Falcons hitting it across, and somehow the Cavemen save that.
Oh, I disagree with that call.
Yeah, I don't know what they called. They said that they lifted it up, but I didn't see that, but nobody seems to be arguing. But it was a good save by Autumn Dill, and then it just, Cavemen couldn't keep it going as they are down 1. But you got to keep it in this range. You can't let it get to 3 or 4. That's where the Cavemen have struggled here tonight. Weiss gets it over, but the Falcons are there. A great hit there by the Falcons across court. And Autumn Dill knew it right away that she needed to go for that and could not. Hannah Weiss with a big hit there as the Cavemen score a point. And again, they bring it back within 1. Scheid is out.
I've seen Hannah Weiss come down on that, and usually people... There's no blocking that. You think it's like blocking a punt? You know what I mean? Like, that thing has some power.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some speed.
That's
a little bit of everything behind it.
Yep, the Cavemen score another point there. It's out of bounds, and the Cavemen tie it back up. A bad first hit. They try to save it. They got to get it over, and they do.
Oh, my.
As Eggleston will hit it over, almost drops. Ayers is there again. I mean, she's all over. And it's so easy to spot her. She's wearing that bright pink as she can't get to that one. And the Cavemen take the lead 7-6, but as I was saying, Ayers is wearing really the only one on the entire court with a bright colored jersey, but she's all over the place. Has really hurt the Cavemen, but the Cavemen get that one down much quicker, and she can't get to that as they take the lead. Good save there by Weiss, and they can't quite get to it. Weiss got down, almost got that up for the Cavemen, but couldn't, as Scheid will go in for Hannah Weiss. Tied back at 7. But as long as you're in this range, if you can make a run at some point, the Cavemen had gotten into trouble going down 3 or 4 in the last couple sets. And really that third set, it got really far away from them. But so far they're in good shape here, only down 1 as Holland with a bad hit there. And And that'll be a point to Glenn as Glenn takes the lead. Somebody's not happy down there. Another point for Glenn as the Cavemen now trail by 2. And Drew, the look on your face, you're not too happy about this turn of events.
Yeah. We haven't seen much of this at home, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's another bad hit as that one goes long. It's been really interesting to watch the Falcons. So they've had an incredible block here tonight. But then they didn't even go up for that one, and that one went long. So it was kind of like it's not like they obviously knew what was coming, but they had a good feeling as that's out of bounds.
Great
Just
court
barely.
vision right there.
Yeah. Autumndale started to go for it, and then she heard somebody saying out, and she just stopped immediately. As I see not just your mom down there, I see your brother.
Yeah, can't miss him.
Yeah, he's ready to go. As it'll be Eggleston back to serve. Cavemen now trail by 2. And that's in. Eggleston gets to it. Not a great hit, but it does get over. Kuskaden's just been killer at the net. Just as Ayers has been great digging the ball and making good hits, Kuskaden at the net has been unbelievable. As Kuskaden will go back to serve now. That is up and over. Scheid just barely got to that, as it'll be Thornton coming across the ball. It's still in. And a running hit there as Scheid does a good job of getting to that. Holland puts it up for Thornton. Thornton, big hit out of bounds. And some of the players were thinking it was tipped, and Steve Anderson shaking his head no, as the Cavemen are now down 4, and this is kind of the danger zone the Cavemen have been in the last 2 sets.
Even though that hit didn't go in, I believe Mackenzie Thornton's she's almost like the Swiss Army knife of this team. She does everything.
She's everywhere, yeah. She serves, she is at the net, but that one just, it was close though. She had a good hit on that at least. Scheid gets that one after the block. It'll be Brothers who hits it kind of to the side there. As the Caveman gets that, Thornton puts it up, and they're going to call a lift on that, or a double hit. And that's going to lead to a Steve Anderson timeout. And you see the John Glenn, not a ton of fans here, but you see the team is really having fun. Their coach all smiles over there as they now lead by 5 into the timeout. Cavemen are going to have to make a big run here. They made a good run at the end of the last set, but couldn't quite pull it out, losing 25-23. They got to make that run now, as if they get it too far into the set, then it turns into a loss. So Cavemen are down here by 5 in the 4th set, and we'll be right back. We're back here as the Cavemen look to make a run, as it'll be Thornton on the hit. Kuskaden keeps it alive. Ayers puts it up. It's got to get over. It does. Cavemen got to run to it. Scheid gets it. Can they get it over? They do. Now they've got to take advantage. As the block is good and down. Point Cavemen. Cavemen score, down 4 here in the 4th set. As that was a big save there, as it'll be Autumn Dill going to the bench. Cammie Dustin in the game. Cavemen have a chance here. Holland puts it up. Thornton gets it into the block. Still alive. Into the block. Oh, I thought that was going down. Great reflexes there from John Glenn. Holland puts it up for Thornton again. Over the block this time. It's up, almost hitting that ceiling. It's still alive. They get it over. Try it again. Holland up. This time to Brothers. Brothers down, but now John Glenn is in control. They get it over. Eggleston, Holland, Dustin, still to go. Ayers puts it up. It's over and out. And that was a really good back and forth from both teams. Both teams with some good hits, some good blocks, but the Cavemen come away with the point, and this is what the Cavemen needed. Down 3. Holland to serve again. And they're going to call a lift there as Brothers just got a little bit too far under that, as it'll be a point for the Falcons. And back to serve, number 12, I think, Ariel Tivers. Good job by Holland not running into the net there. Great hit, but a great block by the Cavemen. Tapped over. Good.
100%.
Good hit there by the Cavemen. It was close. She was close to going over, but she got it over the net and stayed on her side as Brothers will go out. In comes Weiss. Now down 3. Somebody's cheering down there big time as it'll be Claire Scheid. Gets it up and over. Good hit out of bounds. So the Cavemen block was right there as the Cavemen will have a chance here as they cut the lead now to 2. It'll be Claire Scheid again. Up and over. Not a great first hit. They got to get it over. Can they? They do. But now the Cavemen have a good chance. It's up for Weiss. Into the net and down. Point Cavemen.
This game just got interesting.
And they're down 1. So Cavemen have got to win this set to keep this alive, as it will be a timeout by John Glenn.
I feel like this is your playlist right now, Miss Randall.
I don't think so. This is not for me, man. So Cavemen are making a comeback. They've got a lot of young players. We talked about the only few seniors. They do have one player out. We talked at the very start about Abby Barson. She was playing a lot for the Cavemen. She is that tall, kind of good, stereotypical kind of hitter at the front there for the Cavemen, but she's out with a foot injury. She's been in that walking boot for a few weeks now, so we'll have to get an update before Thursday's match, see how she's doing, and see if there's any timetable for her to be back. But the Cavemen are in better shape now than they were just a few minutes ago, as they trailed by 5. Now they trail by just 1, causing a timeout to be taken by the Falcons. The Falcons' defense has been sensational tonight, with Ayers and Kuskaden both having phenomenal games. And now the Cavemen are trying to complete a comeback here. Down 2-1. They were down 5 points earlier in this set, but now trail by just 1 as another serve from Scheid. Good hit, good block, but the block is out of bounds. Point to Glenn, and Glenn's done a really good job out of these timeouts. They've gotten points out of them. A good hit there off the block, and it'll be a point to the Falcons, now up 2. Scheid will get that first one. Holland will put it up for Weiss. Weiss goes up. Good hit. Still in. They hit it over and out. Point for the Cavemen. And really, those ones are close to staying in bounds. The Falcons have had a couple points get away from them on some bad hits like that. So now the Falcons are up just 1. Great hit, but Holland's right there. Scheid will put it up. This one to Dustin. Dustin into the net, still alive. Dustin, great job there to save it. Eggleston gets it into the net, though. And so you saw kind of the dichotomy between the two teams. You have both teams had really nice saves there. One by Dustin on the Caveman side, one by Ayers on the Falcon side, but you see what they did with that. The Cavemen put it right in the net, whereas the Falcons get it over. So we'll see here now the Falcons up 2. That one's up and over, out of bounds. So a bad serve there from the Falcons is an error the Cavemen needed. As it'll be Dill coming in for Dustin again to serve. 1 point lead for the Falcons. Cavemen led 7-6, their only lead in this entire set. But they've kept it close. A great serve there, but is kept in as Kuskazin comes in. And it goes right into Thornton as Thornton couldn't quite decide if she was going to try to set that or bump it up. Neither one worked as it kind of hit right into her fist. And that'll be a point for the Falcons. Cavemen trail by 2. Ayers with the good serve. A bad hit from Dill. Ace. John Glenn takes a 3-point lead. And that's a tough break. Autumn Dill comes in to serve, can't get the point, and then she has a bad hit there. See what she can do here. She's got a good one this time. Holland across, they're going to call that a double hit. That's too bad. It was a big hit there by Weiss, but it'll be an infraction on the Cavemen. And now Cavemen are really going to be in a tough place, try to keep this going, trailing by 4. Thornton a bad hit, another ace. And there's 3 points in a row that the Cavemen have really just given away. And now the Cavemen trail by 5. Dill gets that one. Holland up to Dill. Dill gets it over just barely. As the Falcons will come in. Kuskazin gets it out of bounds. Point Cavemen. It's a good hit, and the Cavemen are lucky that didn't stay in bounds. As now the Cavemen trail by 4. Weiss to serve, and they really need something here. Good serve. Falcons will have a chance, though. Kuskazin hits it over. Eggleston. Back to Eggleston. Good hit, but right to the Falcons. They get it over. Weiss. Holland. Brothers gets it into the net. No good.
We've seen a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, it's been some bad hits on all levels for the Cavemen. You've had some bad serves, had some hits into the net, had some bad second hits, or first hits, as you saw in those couple aces from the Falcons. As the Cavemen now trail by 5, only 4 points to victory for the Falcons out of bounds. Eggleston's got to bring that down as it's inching closer and closer to a Falcons victory here. Timeout, Cavemen. It is the final countdown as the song plays, as if the Cavemen can't make a run here, they trail by 6 in the 4th set, trailing 2 sets to 1. Cavemen are going to have to make a run. And as we pointed out earlier, Cavemen are taking all 60 seconds of this timeout. The Falcons are already back out there. They're ready to go. I am ready for bed, Drew.
I can agree with that. I'd retweet that one real quick.
I'll tell you, these late start Wednesdays are a little bit tricky. Teachers have meetings starting at 7:30, so we're here. I'm usually here earlier than that anyway, but teachers are in here a little bit earlier than usual, and then we don't really have time to set up for class as much. So Wednesday's a little bit tough.
I'm usually here about 6:45 every day but Wednesday. Little workout in before the school day.
There you go. Courtney Brothers, that's way out. And the really unforced errors the Cavemen have suffered really just hurt themselves. They haven't been able to keep the errors to a minimum where the Falcons have, as it's tipped across and Cavemen point. And Holland got that tipped over, and I think Steve Anderson has wanted her to do that all match, and she finally gets it here late in set 4. Trailing by 6, 2 sets from a victory for the Falcons. The Mishawaka Cavemen are gonna have to make a big time run. Good serve by Eggleston. Kuskazin into the net, out of bounds. And that's a start. Eggleston was the one that made the short run at the end of last set, 4 or 5 points to get them back into it before they couldn't pull it out. Let's see if they can do it here. Trailing by 5, she gets it across. Cavemen have a chance. And in. Miscommunication there from the Falcons, and here we go. Cavemen trail by 4. Eggleston has a chance here on the serve. If the Cavemen score another point, I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons call a timeout. Here's the serve from Eggleston. It's another good one. Kuskazen gets it across, still in play. It'll be up to Thornton. She tips it across, almost down. A great save. Can they keep it up? No. Point Cavemen, and as I said, here comes a timeout from the Falcons bench. So we were almost writing the Cavemen off. They've come back a little bit, still trail by 3, but they've got to make something happen, and they have again with Eggleston at the serve.
She's really came in the clutch, though, in these last couple games. Sets.
Right.
My apologies.
Nah, it's hard.
Sets.
So the Cavemen have a chance here, trailing by only 3. If they lose this set, match over. If they can win this set, we'll have one more set to go in the 5th indecisive set. Got a couple Mishawaka Network students watching and not working. We're going to have to get on them about that tomorrow. Could use their help here tonight. And again, the Cavemen taking all 60 of those seconds in that timeout. The Falcons are ready to go. As they out of this timeout, it'll be another Eggleston serve. See if they can make something happen. Good serve. Cavemen have a good chance here. It'll be Brothers. She gets it across. In play. Kuskazen off the block. Unbelievable save, but down. Point Cavemen. They're still in it. Trailing by 2. It is 9 o'clock on the nose right now. Cavemen trying to force another set. Another good serve as that's into the net. And down. Cavemen trail by 1. 5th set makes for a long night, but an exciting match. Down by 1. Eggleston with another serve. That's good. The Falcons got to hit it. They get it over just barely. Shy's got to get it over. She does. Falcons get it over. It's Thornton. Holland gets it over. And now the Falcons have a chance. Kuskazen into the net. No good. Kuskazen couldn't get it over, and now we are tied. It is tied as we head to another Eggleston serve. Blocked at the net. Somehow John Glenn kept that alive as Brothers into the block, and nobody goes for it. And Steve Anderson is not happy that nobody went for that. It was a big, big run there for Eggleston serving, and really an unbelievable play down at the end there as the Falcons got it over, and Kuskaden back to serve for the match. Holland puts it up. This is for Thornton. She gets it over. Can it drop? It does! And the Cavemen score, tied at 24. Back to serve, Jordan Holland. Cammie Dustin coming in for the Cavemen. Autumn Dill leaving. 24 all here. Holland hoping to come in clutch here for the Cavemen. Not a great first hit. It is hit over. Point Falcons. They're going to say Courtney Brothers made a bad hit there over the net, and that's an unforced error. There's really no need for that as the Falcons were in a tough spot, but now Falcons have a chance to win it on this serve. Serve by Tisver is up. Good hit. Over to Thornton. She gets it over, down. Can it drop? No. Brothers. Holland, this time to Dustin, over and long, and that's it. A big time play there at the end by the Falcons as they win the fourth set, and they will end up with the match victory 26-24 as the Cavemen couldn't quite pull it out there late. They came up clutch at the end, but they couldn't quite win. We'll be back tomorrow night at the Administrative Center for the school board meeting, back with volleyball on Thursday night here from the Cave, and then football Friday night. So we will see you tomorrow night for some school board action.